Okay, I can see you, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me? You can, oh, you've got but I can't, there's no sound coming from your end. Okay, hold on. I can't hear you at all.
I unplugged. Does that help? Does that help?
Unplug your,
I did. Yeah, it's unplugged. I'm
if
not
you unplug your
muted.
speakers, maybe.
I muted on your side, maybe?
Hold on, let me get my YouTube thingy
Okay.
set up here. Good morning, everybody. We're doing technical difficulties. we're we're experiencing technical difficulties, not hopefully, Jenna, you can hear me, so that's
Oh
the
yeah,
first thing
totally.
that we want to work on. I think you might need to call back in, Jenna.
Oh, okay.
God, my skin is so dry this morning. This is what happens when you wash your face.
Let's see.
How dare you wash your face?
Okay.
Actually, the real problem is that I was putting on at my age, I need a really good moisturizer, and I got a cheap moisturizer because I'm like, I just need to grab something at this airport. Wasn't the right choice. Hold on, here we go. Setting up the live stream on the page. Boom, this, yow, there, no, here, there we go. Paste, save, boom, done, publish. All right. Let's see. All right. Pro Trophy says, what? This is not what you think it is. This is called Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon. Okay, this is Crystalline Bell's weekly live stream. All right. Let's see now. Okay, so Rose is here. Hey, Rose. Hold on, everybody. I'm getting here. Jenna,
Yes.
you have to hang up and call in again, honey, because I
Okay,
can't
I'll
hear
try
you.
back. I'll try again. So weird.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, I can't hear you.
That's so weird. Okay, because
Wait, oh, hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on.
you can hear me?
Don't. It's me. Wait, say
Okay.
something. Ooh, okay. Sorry, that was my bad. My bad.
Awesome.
My
Okay.
apologies.
I thought I
I
might
can
be
now hear. All right.
awesome.
Hi, Rose. Let's see. And then I have a caller who's muted. Okay, wait. I'm gonna unmute everybody. Let's see, because let's see, unmute all. Because I'm not sure if you dial in, I don't know if you can actually mute yourself or unmute yourself. So I'm unmuting everyone. So hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good
Hey.
morning.
Okay, so we are, and actually what I'll do is put this on the gallery view. I think that will help. We are here together today for Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon. We are doing, my name is Crystalline Bell, and I host every week a live stream where we look at what's going on energetically. And I do some coaching, I do some card reading, and I take questions and just help folks feel better about what's going on right now. And currently, I am doing free coaching for people who want to take the next 3 months or the next 12 weeks and to feel better, and to take on several objectives that they want to achieve in their lives over the next 3 months. So I have a beautiful group of people with us today. And what we'll do is maybe just go around and find out who's on the call with us. And if you can state your name, just your first name is good, and tell us just to kind of give us a feeling of where you are energetically today. I know I'm in a strange place, so it's going to be curious to find out where all of you all are. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll start with Jenna, since you were the first one on the call this morning.
I'm in my pajamas. I feel cozy and comfortable because I'm not in a hospital. Like I'm pretty feeling grateful and happy and cozy, and I've got my coffee, and my kid is occupied and pretty happy and not getting restless. Like, I've heard some people like, really getting restless because they, have a spouse they're living with or something, things are just getting a little too close for comfort.
Yeah,
And
cabin fever.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm feeling just
like,
I got it easy.
yeah, good. It sounds like you're appreciative of the small things, and
Mhm.
I think that's really important right now. Excellent, Jenna. Cabin fever, I love it. All right, and how about you, Rose?
Hi everyone, my name is Rose. It's so nice to see all of you on this beautiful day. I'm doing all right. I'm similarly to you, Jenna. I'm like super thankful for all the small things in my life. What I've been trying to do every day is actually post on Instagram one thing that I'm grateful for, and then ask my friends and colleagues if they're grateful for as well. And so today I'm really grateful that I paid my taxes before the April 15th deadline. It was something that was hanging over my head. And Crystalline, your live stream from last week totally touched on that. That it like made so much sense. And so I was watching it, and I was like, no wonder I was feeling like super anxious, but it's a huge relief to have that off my shoulders. And I feel really grateful that I am in a place to be able to pay my tax burden. I'm a freelancer at once. So I'm really, really grateful that that's done. So
Yeah, excellent, Rose. Yeah, 3 cheers for you, because we have a new tax deadline now, right? The new tax deadline is like July, and I love that you hit the April one. You're like, I'm on this because I can be. Excellent. Good for you, girl. Good for you. I'm sure the IRS is like giving you a round of applause.
thank you, Crystal, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, excellent. Good job. All right, so I just had 2 people sign on and then they both dropped off, so I'm not sure, but we'll come back. Now, the one that was on, I was going to ask, but she's dropped off. Maybe she'll call back in, or he'll. I'm not sure it was a phone number. So I have the phone number that is at 619. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Jessa.
Is that Jessa?
Yeah.
Hi, Jessa. It's nice
Mhm.
to meet you. I'm so glad that you're joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. I saw your invitation to join and I thought, you know what? I see your emails all the time and I was like, okay, let's just say hi.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm glad that you're with us. Thank you so much. Do you, by any chance, have some objectives that you want to be working on over the next 3 months? Like, is there anything that, like, over between now, this is April, and let's see, so it'll be May, June, July, but between April and July, what would you like to see changed in your life? Is there anything in particular?
I think let's see, to have more of a focus because right now I'm allowing input from everywhere
Mm,
and it's overwhelming.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Jessa, I think that's a really an amazing objective. Interestingly, last night I was talking with one of my private clients, and um, she's an incredible force of energy. She's just very, very, she knows who she is, you know? And what happens to her is she's noticed in her life that she's taken input from other people. And last year in July, we started working together. And one of the very first things that I confronted her about was why she seeks validation so much from other people, from other sources. And the biggest transformation that she has had in this last, it's been since July, so it's, what is that, 7 or 8 months, is that she has gone from asking, from validating always. She makes a decision and then she goes to get everybody's opinion and then she shifts her decision to other people's decisions because they sound more wise. They're people she trusts. They're people that she perceives as having their act together more than she does, right? So even though she's an incredible force of energy, she still does not trust her own authority. And so last night, actually about a month ago, she had an awakening where she's like, Crystalline, I get it. I've been asking people and they don't know more than I do. They don't know more than I do. And it was a big awakening for her. And so for this last month, she's been very much in a space of, I can make decisions for myself. I'm making decisions. I'm listening to my intuition. And last night, she was confronted with having to take responsibility for a decision that she made. And she had the feeling that she had made a mistake. Right? So her responsibility and her authority came back to bite her, is what she perceived, right? But what happened was when we sat with it, what she learned was that she made a decision that was actually outside of her true authority. And what she did, Jessa, was to take her intuition, which comes from her relationship with God, with Source. And she thought, well, rather than trusting that I'm okay, that Source has my back, I'm going to trust the logical, egoic, three-dimensional human thinking of, I need to save money. Okay, so this has to do with her money and things changing with the economy and making decisions. Her intuition said, stay where you are in your beautiful, expensive apartment. And her logic said, your apartment is expensive and the economy is changing. You need to move. You need to make a different decision, you see. So you understand why she would make the decision to leave the apartment. This is logic. These are changing times. This is COVID. This is, this is a chance where we might be unsafe, right? So make a logical decision. But then she made that decision and she's like, wait, I've put myself in a situation where I've spent more money and now I'm behind the 8 ball where I should have listened to my intuition and just stayed where I was, right? So hopefully this illustrates a little bit of why that I think your objective is a very good one. The objective to get focused, to me, is saying, I want to get aligned with, I'm going to call it God's will. You can call it the universe's will or higher self or unconditional love, whatever you want to call it. What I want for everyone on this call to do is to align themselves with the will of the divine and to keep that as your singular focus even in the midst of all the change and the uncertainty that's happening right now. Jessa, how does that feel for you?
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank
And
you for
just,
bringing that
yeah,
up. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I think because I value each person and love everyone, that it kind of makes it the boundaries more fluid, you know, in my being.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where relying more on my own intuition. So this is
Yeah.
a good point.
Yeah, amazing, actually. Yeah, this relying on my own intuition is huge. It's huge. By the way, ladies, I'm going to just jump in here and let you all know what I've got brewing. As you know, I was kicked off of Facebook. I was kicked off of Facebook accidentally. I got hacked. And apparently, Facebook thinks I'm a brilliant hacker. That for the 10-year account that I had on Facebook was all just some kind of a brilliant hacking scheme. And so anyway, Facebook won't let me on back on Facebook. So I have to go in under a pseudonym. And I have a Facebook group. And the Facebook group is called You Lead, Intuitive Business Development for Heart-Centered Entrepreneurs. And this is my heart group because, as you all know, I love doing spiritual life coaching. But what I love more than being a spiritual life coach is combining like that life coaching with business building, because I'm a number 8. I like business. I like creating things in business. I like producing things. I love working. I love this is my heart and passion. So what we're doing in that group, it's an absolutely free group, but basically, for the next year, we are going to work together on building heart-centered entrepreneurs, giving them the courage, the strength, the intuition, and the alignment to help you all manifest your businesses or whatever it is your heart actually desires. To me, I call it a soul's calling, because I think that I don't know are there any entrepreneurs on the call today? Who's an entrepreneur? Ronnie, Rose, Jenna, Katrina is one at heart. Jessa, are you what do you work for yourself, or do you have a dream to work for yourself?
Yes, I don't actually work. I'm retired and live in the country.
No.
Illinois.
That's my fantasy.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Not
somehow the last year has been different, but yeah.
Yeah.
So we're moving back in that direction where I'm supported by the environment there, and rather than in the midst of the world.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Um, Even in retirement, that desire to create something and to share and to be of service, that's probably why I think a lot of people retire, so that they can move on to something that's more dharmic in nature, instead of, the karma of the work environment, and having to work in order to earn a living. The point, though, is that if you have a calling from your soul to a certain thing, then you might want to consider joining this Facebook group with me. I'll put a link to it. I'll email you all a link, and I'll put a link to it in the video and all that kind of thing, just in case you want to join. But the whole point is for men and women, but mostly women, but men too, of course. The whole point is for us to really align with, again, I'm calling it God's will, but to align with our higher self, so that whatever it is that we're really here on earth to do, our divine life purpose, we find that by peeling away the limitations of the mind, by daily meditation, by daily yoga, by eating the right foods, by hanging out in environments with people that uplift us, by, doing coaching classes like this, right? So that when we go out into the world, we go to the grocery store, we go to a party, we go, out to our groups, to our social engagements, we maintain our integrity while we're in the midst of contrast, of our own subconscious processes that are being projected out into the world, showing us our shadow. Shadow. In the face of shadow, we can maintain integrity and alignment, right? And as heart-centered entrepreneurs, it's a really difficult line, because we have a calling to create things from our soul, and yet we have to pay the bills. And so there's this whole thing that happens where we are like, oh, um, I want to do this. How do I get paid? How do I charge people? I feel guilty because I'm charging. I'm heart-centered. There are parts of me that feels like I shouldn't be charging, but I still have to be, answer the call of my ambition. This is really challenging stuff, okay? So in that group, that's what we're going to be working on, helping you find your center so that you know that you don't actually have to work for money, that we help you understand that money and supporting your business comes is more of an alignment issue as opposed to being a money issue. It's never about the money. The money is just this thing that comes after you've gotten really, really, really in touch with yourself. All right. So we'll be talking about that. So I hope that you all will join me there. Now, let's see. Next on the line, I see Ronnie has signed on, but we're going to talk first to Katrina, who has gotten her coffee, I'm sure, by now. Katrina, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Anything in particular that's coming up for you as you are kind of tuning in? Today is April 15th. It's tax day, as Rose has so helpfully pointed out to us.
Well, today, I'm glad I got up and I meditated today for the first time in a long time.
Great.
Got some mantras done, so I'm feeling really good. Back on
Yeah.
track, sort of. Kind of been off track.
Excellent. Yeah, I understand. Well, I'm glad that you're back on track, and I'm glad that you've joined us this morning. I know you have a lot going on with your classes and everything, so thanks for making time to join us here.
Sure, of course.
Excellent. And last but not least, we have Ms. Ronnie Dunn. Hi, Ronnie. Hold on. Can anybody hear Ronnie?
No. Oh, because she has her headsets on. It probably has something to do with her headset. No? Maybe?
Ronnie, maybe unplug your headset. Yeah, we can hear you now.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, good. So kind of give us a little bit of an understanding of how you're feeling right now. Like, what's your kind of mood on this particular day?
I feel a little, I feel okay. I feel a little bit better than I was feeling the last couple of days. I've been going through a little bit of turmoil, but it's starting to ease out, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
Yeah, good.
Getting back on track, as Katrina just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little bit off balance, so I'm just trying to work through it.
Yeah. It's very good. I'm noticing there's a well, what I want to do today for everyone, this is my coaching live stream, right? This is what I want to do. I want to give you all some tools, or a tool, to help you deal with your shit. Okay, just gonna be honest with you. When you're having the blues, when you're feeling off track, maybe we can talk today about how to handle that.
Okay.
And what it takes time to give you all these tools. Okay, so over the next 3 months, you all are going to develop your toolbox.
Okay.
But the very first tool I would like for us to talk about today is prayer. And I want to talk about prayer out loud. Okay. Um, I know that not everybody lives alone. Okay. You can't always say things out loud and have privacy. All
Right.
right. Okay. I get it. Okay. But I need you to say it out loud quietly. Okay. And here's why. And here's why. And even if you have to whisper it behind your hands like this, or if you have to go into the bathroom, like if you have to go in the bathroom and do it, you know, and turn on the water, but you need to say it out loud. And here's why. The throat chakra, okay, is vibrational. Your vocal cords, you know, vibrate.
Yeah.
They produce energy, and they set a frequency. Yeah. So when you are praying out loud, what you're doing is you're setting a frequency that actually reverberates through your whole body. Okay. Oh, and actually, what I'll do is mute everybody so you all don't have to worry about noise in the background.
Okay.
Current and new. Okay. Allow people. Yeah. Okay. When you all have something to say, please unmute yourself and talk. Don't be afraid. If I'm in the middle of a conversation or saying something, don't be afraid to interrupt me, because I want to make sure I hear from you. Okay. So your voice is really important, not just for, you know, who can hear you, like people, but it's actually really significant for changing the frequency of your energy. Now, I never want you all to lie when you pray. As a matter of fact, I want you to move toward total honesty, because God, or however you call it, the universe, is a vessel of pure unconditional love, which means that that you are loved no matter what you say, no matter what you feel, no matter what you do. So you don't ever have to lie and say, because, you know, a lot of us in these modern days, we feel so bad when we feel bad and we say something bad. Okay. Like, we're not allowed to say something negative. Like, you cannot say, God forbid you say, I hate you. God forbid you say, I hate myself. What? You hate yourself? Girl, what's wrong with you? Okay, look, stop. Okay, sometimes we hate ourselves, and that hate inside of us on a subconscious level is real. Like when we say, I hate myself, the hatred is real. And part of the reason why the hatred is so real inside is because it doesn't have permission to come out. Okay? So when you pray, you give yourself permission to let go of those negative emotions. Now, do not dump your negative emotions on anybody or anything. You only give your negative emotions to unconditional love, because unconditional love is the only frequency that can handle your negative emotions and not be scathed by it. Okay? So don't shout at the dog, don't shout at the mouse. Ah, you stupid thing. Why ain't you working? I paid $2,000 for you, you Mac. You see that Apple mouse? That's supposed to be quality. Don't do that. Love you. Okay? Don't do that. Give it to the vessel of unconditional love, which is going to take that energy and shift it to the vibration of unconditional love. Okay. Now you will notice that when you say your truth, the truth of how you feel in the moment, when you say those things out loud, you notice that your frequency is going to raise, right? So this morning, I'm dealing with something very intimate. I can't talk about it right now, but it's something really intimate, and it's heartbreaking. It's something that happened to me when I was a child, and it's really, really, really just, it's very, very devastating. And and I've been processing it for the last few months, and I'm really coming to terms with it now because I now have the courage, and I now see that I have no choice but to deal with this thing. So last night I was praying, I'm praying at the side of my bed, head down, like praying, and I'm praying for this revelation, for my eyes to open to the truth, and for my eyes to open to my responsibility. So this morning, I woke up and I tried to go ahead and do my work. I did my yoga, I did my meditation, and then I tried to sit down here and work. And I'm like, oh, I feel that resistance. Oh my God, there is resistance happening. I can't move. I'm trying to make myself work, and I can't really work. So what I did was I stopped. Okay. And this is what I need you all to do when you feel the badness. Okay. I stopped and I said, how do I feel? And I listened to how I felt, and I felt a wall. I felt pressure. I felt sadness. Up here, I felt anxiety. I felt doubt. And my legs were going numb. There was a feeling of I can't move. It was a feeling of stuckness. Here it was just tight. Okay. And so what I did was this. Now, I like to tap while I'm praying. Okay. So when I'm praying, what I do is I say the truth of the negative feelings that I feel. So today it went something like this. I feel pressured to move forward and get my work done, but I can't because I feel broken, right? So I sat there and I felt the brokenness. Now, when you're praying and you're tapping, you really need to feel what you're feeling in your body. The whole point of praying is to understand that you're changing the frequency of something. Now, when you're praying and you feel good, what you do is you're raising even the good feelings to a vibration of ecstasy. But when you're praying and you feel bad, you're taking that bad, negative feeling. God, I feel stuck. I feel worthless. I feel hateful toward myself. I feel insecure. What you're doing is you're saying this, but you're giving it to unconditional love. And unconditional love is like a mirror, like everything else is a mirror. Okay. So what it does is you're giving it hate, self-loathing, doubt, fear, and it's giving you back unconditional love, right? So you don't have to do anything but be honest and be receptive. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? It's really, really powerful. So this morning I sat there and I tapped. This was a good 30-minute session of just sitting here, and then the tears started falling. And the when you tap, um, the blockages around the stuck emotions actually start to release and flow. So you can find that your emotions are more accessible when you're tapping, right? So you tap and you feel and you pray. Okay. And as you pray and as you're feeling all these things, you always need to pause and look around, not look around with your eyes, but feel around for better feelings, feel around for hope. So even when you're down here, I'm a broken woman. I've lived my life as a failure for all my life. I've never been true to myself. And yet I find myself sitting here trying to break free of the old paradigm. That's a positive, okay? Even though it's not perfect, it is a better vibration. And what you're doing is you're being honest, but you're also honoring that part of you that is striving for light, right? So what I want you to take from today's session is that you are entitled to your negative emotions, your negative experience, the deepest, darkest part of you. Those things are valid and you need to validate them. And do not validate them just inside yourself. I know I feel this way. No, validate it outside. I feel angry. I am bitter. This was taken from me. Okay? And I did not fight for myself. Okay? I am unforgivable. Say it out loud. That's a validation. And at the same time, as a part of your prayer, as a part of your healing process, say to yourself, yes, I should feel this way. I should be angry. That was taken away from me. I am correct. You know, I was raped. I was ravaged. I was abused. I was abandoned. You validate that for yourself because we're seeking validation outside of ourselves all the time. Even when we project our anger onto the world around us, we're trying to get validation for the pain that we feel inside. So when we're blaming people, anytime you point the finger at something, that's you seeking validation. You're blaming that person because you need that person to validate the pain that you feel inside. So instead of blaming and shaming, that's also a validation. That's a cry for validation. When you want somebody else to feel ashamed, it's because you need for somebody to validate the shame that you feel inside. So what you do, instead of making that other person responsible, in your prayers and in your daily practice, you take responsibility for your own feelings first. When you do that for yourself, the world must validate you. It must reflect what you've just validated in yourself. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay. So right now we have the sun in Aries. And we're not going to worry so much about the moon because I really only work with the moon when it's in full or when it's new. And right now we're in the middle, so we're not going to worry about the moon. We're going to just focus on the sun. So we have the sun in Aries, and Aries is the sign of the egoic self, like the human self, okay? But it's also the sign of responsibility. So Aries is about having autonomy and authority within themselves, right? If you ask an Aries like what they doubt about themselves, they're going to be like, huh? Wait, are you talking to me? That's about as far as the doubt goes, right? Like, who, me? Doubt? It's not something that they walk with, right? It's just not a part of the paradigm of the Aries mentality. It comes up in different ways. Of course, we all have doubt, but it comes up in different ways. Doubt is not a part of their kind of way of moving through life, which is great, okay? So when we're experiencing doubt and the sun is in Aries, it's our opportunity to actually move forward into the things that trouble us with more confidence. So even though Aries is not a touchy-feely emotional sign, it is a sign where we can get a lot of healing done. We can go into our fears, we can go toward the things that we're lacking, and we can go toward them boldly so that we can take these things on with more confidence, and we can have the courage to actually stand strong in those things. Does that make sense to everyone? Very good. Excellent. So now I'm done talking. Ha! I want to hear from you all. So what I'd like to do now, we've got, I'm going to go to my air table, okay, which is where the coaching objectives are. And I'm going to use that as my list here to guide us, because, okay, now just to kind of give you all a little update about how this system works that we're doing here on Wednesdays. This is a coaching program, and it's really for people who are trying to commit to making some kind of a transformation within themselves. Now, you're new to this, we're just getting started, so it's okay. You have to you get to decide. You get a little grace period where you get to decide if this is something that you want to participate in over the next 3 months, right? But there are a group of people who have decided that they're ready to commit. They've sent in their objectives. And so what we're going to do is start with that group of people, and we're going to talk about where they are with their objectives and what they need from me for their objectives. And then we're going to ease in the rest of you and see if you like this. And if you want to make some objectives, I'll add them to the list today. And if you don't want to do it, then you don't have to. You can still just hang out with us, but you don't have to participate in the coaching. You can hang out. I'm happy to read tarot cards for you and to just do our usual thing. Okay. But we're going to definitely start with the coaching objectives. Now, so the first person on our list is Rose. So Rose, we're going to check in with you. If you'll unmute yourself, that'll be great. So Rose, how are you doing with your objectives?
I'm doing okay. Some of them I'm doing better on than others. I would say my big
Yeah.
accomplishment this week, actually. So just a little bit of background about myself. I'm a professional singer, and I'm like an opera singer, which is
Oh.
no, literally. So everything that you were saying about throat chakra is so applicable, and it's
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
amazing. So,
Wow. I'm so excited. Okay, yes, but please go on. Yes.
yeah. So that's so. And another thing is, I'm a Canadian and I'm living in the US on an O1 visa. So it's basically, I'm here in this country as an alien of extraordinary ability, and it's awesome.
Wow. That is
Uh,
so cool.
it's it's pretty wild. And the thing is, as a professional musician, my specialty, while it is in operas, I actually work with living composers and collaborate with them to perform new works that are kind of in the
Yes.
classical realm, but more often than not have to do with like avant-garde art stuff. So if any of you have ever been to the MoMA in New York City, Museum of Modern Art, just imagine that's what I do with sound.
Amazing.
So
Wow.
I think in terms of things that have gone well this week, I've had a way more consistent practice than normal. And I've actually been filling out by hand a family calendar I can show you. And I've been putting in every day what I've accomplished. I had a break day that day, a break day then, but I've been
Yeah.
really what I do. And so
Yes.
I find that writing things out by hand is really helping me to just like actually achieve my goals. I don't know about you, but when I write my to-do list online, I just don't get it done because it's not as tangible as actually writing it out by hand.
Okay.
So
Amazing. Yes.
big accomplishment there. Things that I'm struggling with a little bit are connecting to the elementals. And so, Crystalline, I was wondering if you could
Yeah.
expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I love working with the elementals, and I want to comment on some of the things that you've said, Rose. Number one, I think it's really amazing that you are here with the extraordinary, like, kind of capability, on a visa like that. I think that is really. I would love to be invited to a country because of my extraordinary abilities. Okay. And so, 3 cheers for that experience. That must feel, that must feel amazing, right? Um, Also, 3 cheers for opera. So, I live in Italy. I'm in California right now, but my home is in Italy, and I cannot wait to get back there in August. I hope that we can we'll connect when I'm back there. But
Totally.
it's the country of opera, and I just love listening to opera while I'm in Italy. It feels amazing. Um, and just opera in general. One of the things that I find really fascinating, because I'm not opera is not my first choice of music.
Mhm.
However, I was always really attracted to La Boheme. Yeah.
Yes.
And I didn't know why when I was a kid I was attracted to La Boheme. But when I was in Spain 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to go and see La Boheme. And when I was watching this production, interestingly, the lead of Marie was played by let's see, I don't remember actually where she was from, but she was a brown woman, right? She was of African descent,
Mhm.
which was really, I didn't know. And so it was really surprising. And I love that theater allows this fluidity of, of race and gender. I love that very much, right? But what this opera gave to me was this kind of awakening to one of my past lives, and how La Boheme told the story of my past life and the big shadow that I have to work on in this particular lifetime. I think that's just really fascinating, the power of opera to heal and to uh, transform through sound and through storytelling and through costume. I'm just really fascinated, really fascinated.
That's amazing. I got chills actually when you mentioned that through Lalbo and you got that insight into your past life and the healing.
Yeah.
So I physically got chills. So that's incredible.
Yeah, and this is what you do for us, Rose. This is what you do. This is what you do. You're up there performing and you're giving to us all. It's amazing. And we don't know the level that we're receiving, especially when, you don't know the language of opera. If, as a listener, if you're not connected to the language, you're connecting to the sound, you're feeling the story in your own way. Maybe you're reading the words, maybe you're reading the subtitles, but I can't, because I get lost in those. So I have to kind of surrender to the music. So I think it's really fascinating, this whole thing. And it's really fascinating that you're on this call, and the whole, I'm wearing this blue and the throat chakra thing. It's just really fascinating. Okay. Very good. Okay. So let's do a little bit of work. Before I get into your question, I want to look at your objectives. Okay. And I'm looking here, and it says, you want to build your music career focusing on service instead of ego. Boom, did that, doing that. Okay, yep, I think you're nailing that. Reaching different audiences authentically, building an online following. And I want to connect to institutions of higher learning and offer my service as an artist in residence to diverse student bodies. I love that. Right, and what I asked you to do is to do some visioning, right?
Yeah.
And working with the cycle of manifestation, which we need to talk about, creating a vision board, researching different marketing strategies and techniques, breaking down your bigger ideas into smaller goals, right?
Mhm.
And oh, right. And you did that, writing down the goals and to-do lists on a physical piece of paper. That's you. Wait,
Yeah.
did I say that or did you say that?
That's advice that I gave to myself based on what you had told me.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, very, very, very good. Excellent. Did I tell you to create the vision board, or did you do that?
That's something I told for myself. And again,
Wait, that's so
yeah.
funny. I thought that, because this is in my mind, Rose. This was in my mind for you. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Actually, hold on. Consistent element, consistent higher learning. What sign are you, Rose?
I'm Virgo Sun. I am rising Gemini, and I am Moon Sagittarius.
Moon Sagittarius, rising Gemini.
Yes. Sun Virgo.
Sun Virgo. So you have this big Mercury thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Technically, you should be if you can, you should be wearing a gold band on your left pinky with a green emerald.
Wow.
Do you have an emerald, a green emerald?
I don't think I do.
Okay. In the future, when you can design it anytime you want, but a gold band with a green emerald, and the casing for the emerald should be open in the back. That would be an investment that I would make sooner rather than later.
Mhm.
And I know that's an expensive investment. I have no idea of what happens with you financially. You're an artist. Who knows what could be happening with you
Exactly.
financially, right? But it would be an investment worth making. And here's why. Mercury is really important for you. Mercury is the planet of communication,
Yep.
communication and commerce, okay? And movement, short distance travel, but commerce, enterprise. Enterprise is considered, things moving from one thing to the next, whether it's ideas, right, which is very mercurial, but whether it's also sound, remembering that Mercury moves very rapidly, right?
Mhm.
And he's the messenger. And these things I think are really important for you.
Definitely.
Normally, when we talked about, when you first mentioned the elementals, I wanted to say immediately before knowing your sign, I wanted to say that you should be working with the earth elementals.
Mhm.
However, I'm getting very strongly, I'm getting very strongly that you should be working with the air elementals. Yeah. So sylphs, fairies, butterflies, birds, things that fly, hornets, wasps, even common house flies, have messages.
Wow.
Things that fly will be very important for you. Now, to connect with those, I just heard that like doing some very high octave, light vocal exercising can help. Calling them in, having them as a focus and communicating using your voice will be the perfect way to bring them in for you. Right?
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And again, with Mercury being huge for you, Mercury's radiation is green. So working with the color green will be really good. If you can't get that, if you can't get the gold emerald ring tomorrow,
Mhm.
just, if you have some green beads, green fabric, green silk would be really amazing. Using that as kind of a meditation piece, sitting with it, holding it. Green stones like jade would be also acceptable. You could use something like aventurine, right?
Mhm.
That would be acceptable as well. Peridot would be okay. All right. Those would be fine. All right. Definitely want to see you in that Facebook group.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, by the way, for everyone, I think what I can do right now is, since you're on this call right now, I will put a link into it in the chat here in Zoom for everyone who's interested, if you're interested, that is. You lead intuitive business development for heart-centered entrepreneurs. This is definitely, look, this program doesn't officially start until Monday, but you all can come. There's an application that you have to do in order to participate. It's a short application, but I need you to complete it. Can you all see this chat in your Zoom window? It should like kind of blink orange, I think, at the bottom of the Zoom window. All right. If you click that, you'll see the, oh, Jenna's taking off. She's gonna come, well, she'll probably come back next week. I'll talk to her about her objectives, but she's got to go to work. Oh, it's late. Oh, who else has to go to work? Everybody got to go to work? Nobody. Oh, good. We are working. Spiritual work comes first. All right. So hopefully, did you all get the chat link? Did you see it? Okay, good. All right, perfect. Because for some reason it didn't show up on my side, so I can't see it. It's weird. All right, thank you. Okay, so and Jessa, I know you're on your phone. We will. I'll have to email that to you, and I'll be emailing that out soon anyway. But anyway, the group won't actually start officially until Sunday or Monday of this coming week, because I need to finish putting together the curriculum and uploading it and all that stuff. And I also, by the way, hired a personal assistant. I got my old personal assistant back. My Solamia is back, so now there's going to be a lot of work getting done. Whew, I can feel myself heating up already. I'm like, whew, when she comes, like stuff happens, so it's really good. All right, so Rose, hopefully that's good for you, okay?
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll take some of the objectives and work with those also in the group, and I'll give you some more very particular information about your practice. This is for everyone. Christina, for Ronnie, in the Facebook group. Yes, Christina, I see you. I haven't acknowledged you. I see you're there. Katrina, Jessa, everyone, bring your heart-centered entrepreneurship goals, ambitions, dreams, desires to the new Facebook group, okay? And we will work on them from a spiritual and energetic level, okay? And we will work to bring them into fruition in the material world, all right? That's the job of that group. Okay, boom. All right, next on our coaching agenda, love it when I have so many windows open and I cannot see. Here we go. All right, Rose, boom. Okay, gotcha, boom. Pri is not on this call, so Pri will, boom, boom. Hello, what is happening? Little technical difficulty there. Okay, Pri will see if she's ready. Katrina, boom, Katrina. Unmute yourself, lovely.
There we go.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm so happy that you're here. Now, okay, so Katrina, you've gone through the replay. You have answered your whys. I noticed you put some information on the objective sheet, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so first thing was commitment to improved physical health and why. And you said, I want to improve my fasting cycles because fasting helps improve my physical body aches and pains. So let me just do a quick read through here. Make a list of what you want to daily practice chanting, mantras, chanting daily. Why do you want to do this? When I did these things on a regular basis, I think of, yes. Ooh, okay, something's coming through. Okay, got you. That's what actually why this is exactly what I was looking for, Katrina. Okay, so The last thing that you wrote on the objectives worksheet thing is that you said, these things excite me because they produce results. These things produce results that bring me satisfaction and peace within my soul. I think this is really important for you, Katrina. I think that your commitment to your physical health is directly related to your excitement cycles. Now, I want to ask you, do you notice or do you not notice, okay? Does your excitement come in waves or is it cyclical?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what sign are you?
Libra.
You're a Libra too?
Yes.
Okay. I had 4 conversations with Libras all in the same week. Like y'all, oh, because it was the Libra full moon. That makes sense.
That was so funny.
That makes sense. Okay, now that makes sense. Yes, of course. All right, that makes sense. That ain't even a synchronicity. That's just logic. Okay, that's just straight up logic. Okay, so Katrina, 2 things are coming to my mind. First of all, as a woman, every woman, okay, we are more in tune to cycles because we have that whole right brain thing, you know, active. So we're really we are in tune with cycles whether we know it or not. We are cyclical whether we know it or not. Okay.
Mhm.
So Katrina, maybe consider noticing, paying attention to your cycles. When are you more excited? When do you notice that your excitement peters off? Are there any triggers that get your excitement going and what makes it peter off? Does that make sense?
Yes. And if I
Okay.
could figure those out, yeah.
Well, one of the ways you figure it out is by number 1, meditating, because meditating opens your awareness. Okay. So this is a reason to get excited about meditation because it opens your awareness, right? Chanting is great because chanting is cyclical. You know, if you do like 108 chants of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, what you're going to notice is that there's a cycle, there's a rhythm, right?
Mhm.
And you rise and you peak and then you fall, and then you rise, you peak, you fall. So noticing that is also going to get you in tune. Starting to pay attention to the seasons will help you. When you can, pay attention to the plants, to the flowers, to the grass growing. Oh, everybody mowed their lawn this week, or, the grass is particularly long this week. Nature is the quintessential image, representation of cycles in action. So paying attention to nature. Oh, the flowers are blossoming, the birds are singing more, it's a longer process, but the more you align yourself with nature, the more safe you are. And when I say safe, I mean, when you align yourself to nature, your body is going to be constantly doing what it's supposed to do. That's safety. When you align yourself with nature, you're safe because you're working with the natural cycles of life. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
I
looking
like
back at journals and things too, I can see the past.
Yes, 100%. Looking back at your journals, rereading stuff, checking dates, following the moon cycles. Following the moon cycles is very important. There's something else that's come in that I need to tell you about as well. Proper mindset, balance. I like that you're chanting. I like that you're working with mantra. I would like for you to do one mantra and one mantra alone for an extended period of time. You can choose that mantra. If you need help, I can help you. But I want you to do one mantra, because a mantra is the mantra is the name of a god, right?
Right. Mhm.
And you are aligning yourself with that particular energetic or that dynamic. And so when you do multiple mantras, you're aligning yourself with different dynamics. And this would go back to what Jessa said earlier. It's like there's all this different kind of feedback. And actually what you got to do is make a decision. And even if it's not for a long time, you know, even if it's only for 3 months, I'm not saying you have to do one mantra all your life, although, you know, your Hindu temple god would say you do one mantra, you know, that's your mantra, right? But you don't change it for your entire life. But you know, we're different. So at least commit to it for 3 months. You know, this way you have a rhythm built. And then if at the end of that 3 months you feel like you need something different, then you go toward the thing you need. Otherwise, you stick with the energy that's there.
Okay.
Mhm. Yes. And so I like all these things that you've written down here, the mystical words of power, you know, working with the demons and the deities. I think this is beautiful, fun, exciting stuff. And, you know, using these, you know, in your, as a part of building your structure, you know, for example, you have your bag of stones. Let's say you have your stones in a bag or in a bowl, and you're thinking about your physical health. Well, you know, you sit down and you have your bag of stones next to you and you say, okay, I want to tune in and really improve my physical health. I'm going to make a commitment to doing some exercises. The exercises I feel like I want to do are running and yoga. And you go into that stone and yeah, I want to do running and yoga. These excite me. This is fun for me, blah, blah, blah. They balance one another. It's perfect. So you're saying yes to these things, right? And you're putting it on the schedule. I'm going to run on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to yoga on Tuesday, Thursday, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you're doing, you reach into that bag with your eyes closed and you feel and you pull out the stone that you like, and you pull out, you know, an amethyst. And so you tune into the energy of amethyst and you ask something to the effect of, how are you going to help me with my running and my yoga? And the amethyst will answer you, and you write down that answer. And so whenever it comes time to doing your physical, you know, your activity, you turn to your amethyst. You know, you turn to the energy of amethyst and you say, hey, let's go running, or hey, let's go do our yoga. And it goes with you and it'll help to clear any resistance and help you improve. Does that make sense?
Yes.
How does that feel for you?
Feels good. It's just me doing it.
Hmm. What stops you from doing it?
I just, I'm doing so much reading, and so probably I really can't say time because I have enough time, more than enough time. I don't know. I don't know what stops me.
When you say you're doing so much reading, you mean you have a lot, I don't understand. What do you mean
A
I'm doing
lot
so
of
much
reading for school since
reading? And what does that have to do with improving your health?
exactly. I
Right.
tried to put it off on time, but I really can't say that.
Yeah, no,
Not
no.
that.
Look, this is for everybody on this call. You cannot keep making excuses for not honoring yourself. You can't. You must honor what's true. You have to protect your innocence. You have to protect your higher self. You have to see the value in protecting yourself. And by protecting, I don't mean from somebody outside of yourself. I mean from you.
Right.
You have to
Yeah.
protect yourself from yourself, you know,
It's
from
just
those different parts of yourself.
it's just me in that cycle. I don't know. It takes something to get me back into, like you say, I live, can't even say the words. Like, it's just always a cycle.
Yeah.
Once I get back in it, I'm in it. But it
Yeah.
takes me, I don't know what it takes to get me there all the way. So,
Well, sometimes the whole problem is that, like, you know, one of the things that happens, I know for myself, is that when I'm feeling good, my prayer becomes less earnest. So what my psyche does is it keeps me in a state of trauma and drama so that I'll stay close to God. So maybe you need to make the decision, Katrina, to stay close to God without needing the low cycles or without needing to be pulled away. But this is a commitment, and it's hard to commit in our day and age, but you need to practice commitment.
Definitely.
So make yourself, but don't overdo it. Okay. Libra,
You're
going from one
right.
extreme to the other. Don't
Exactly.
overdo it. Find something in balance. Find something you can commit to. If you're going to meditate, meditate for just 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's the problem. I overdo it. I
Yeah.
can't do the 5 minutes. I've got to do an hour.
Yeah, no, don't do that. That's too hard, and you can't sustain. We need to, sustainability. They're not just talking about earth resources. We're talking about human heart and focus. 5 minutes is plenty, especially 5 minutes of absolute truth. 2 minutes of absolute, 1 minute of absolute truth is better than 5 minutes of bullshit.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So do your best, sweetheart. Make small goals, achieve those every day, and then you'll naturally grow your goals in a nice slow way, like an oak tree. Starts off as a little seed, and then it just slowly blossoms and sprouts is what I guess it would do. All right.
Okay. Got it.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, that's the main thing right there.
All right, sweetheart.
Realistic goals.
Yes, that'll work. Christina. No, wait, hold on. Wait, Ronnie, Ronnie, I don't have your things on here. Because Ronnie, you were going to send me new goals. I can't hear. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me unmute you. Ronnie.
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
I emailed it to you.
You did? Wait, just now. You just emailed it to me now.
No. I emailed it to you early, like 11 o'clock, 11:05.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's, okay, got you. All right. I have to get those, so let me go to Christina, okay? We're going to, look at her, she's making the look. Christina's like, what? Okay. All right, Christina. Unmute. Okay, Christina. Hi. Are you afraid to speak?
No.
There she is. Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at what you got for your objectives. Okay. Christina says, I have a few objectives that she wants help with. We talked about these before. Oh, cycles. She's like, okay. Want to change, get help, start using tools, blah, 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 fall off, discouraged, feel like crap, beat myself up. Boom. I think we can all relate to this cycle, Christina. I think that we can all relate to it. She says she wants to feel accomplished, less afraid, and genuinely positive. Okay. So the objective would be to heal the feeling of not being good enough, okay, not being worthy, working through fear that is rooted in not being enough, talking myself out of things due to fear, staying disciplined enough. There's this thing that's coming up for me right now. Who on this call has felt fear around the coronavirus, like fear of death? Has that come up for you in the last 2 months? Nobody's felt fear of death?
Honestly, I feel oddly assured about that. Like, I'm not gonna. I think I just have a general belief that I don't get sick. This was something that I learned a long time ago from a thing I heard from Wayne Dyer, where it was just like, I just don't get sick. And the more I affirm that to myself,
the more real it is. Yeah.
I just don't get sick.
Yeah. I believe that 100%. I think that's really powerful. So I agree with you. I have that belief too, until of course I got sick. And then I was kind of like, oh shit, I'm dying. So one of the things though, so here's one of the things we have to look at around fear, and maybe this is going to be important for you, Christina. What happens if you are not good enough?
Then I fail, then I don't do anything, then I'm just a waste of
And why would that be so bad?
to be a waste of a human being.
Why would that be so bad to be a waste of a human being?
Because I don't want to be. I feel like I have a lot to give. I have a lot to offer. I have a lot that I want to contribute, and
Mhm.
I don't want to be a
But
waste.
why would it be so bad if you were a waste?
Because then what would be the point of doing or trying or being here at all?
So what I'm understanding is that you have a belief that being a human being is about achieving
Doing
something.
Yeah.
How helpful is that belief to you?
The belief that I'm supposed to be doing something. I mean, I feel like that's what keeps me getting back up in the cycle, because I'm like, okay, I failed, I didn't do it, trash. All right, let me try again. It's what keeps me coming back.
So could you go back without that belief? Could you keep coming back without having the belief that you're supposed to do something?
Then what would be the belief instead, I guess?
Well, the belief could be that I'm human and my experience is unfolding. That could be a replacement belief. Because see, I feel that that belief is detrimental. Because what that belief does is it creates this kind of false aim about the human experience, and it makes you have to do things for the sake of serving that belief. I think that you can do a lot of things just based on, enjoying the experience of doing them. Like building your business just because it's actually fun to build websites and to play with marketing and to talk to people. And this is actually fun stuff. And when you put the fun back into it, there comes a level of excitement.
This is true. I mean, I felt that on the new projects that I've been working on. That's just so I'm taking a yoga teacher training class right now.
Nice.
And that has me really excited. And I made a whole website and did like a whole thing. And
It's
you know,
exciting.
I feel excited about that. And then there's like this other part that's like, oh, can you really do this? Should you be teaching yoga? Like, what do you know about teaching yoga? Just because you take yoga classes doesn't mean you should teach yoga. You start to go down that rabbit hole. But then I come back to, well, I can try. Like, I can at least try.
Sure. And if you kind of quiet the voice that questions your decisions, what would happen? What would you be left with if you didn't really have that voice that questions?
Then I would be left with it's like underneath that questioning and that fear, there's a knowing that I have some sort of service or healing to give, but it's like the fear muddies it. And I actually just bought my first brand new oracle deck.
The Starseed Oracle, beautiful.
And I've been using that for the past couple of days. And the last 3 cards that I've pulled all were like, that thing that you've been doing, that thing that you are excited about, go for it, dive in. Like everything is pointing towards that, every card that I pull. So it's like, okay, I feel like there's something calling me to keep going, but how do I get through the muckety muck,
So what I'm feeling is that number one, you remember Cancer, moon oriented, right? So I need to know what you're doing about the moon cycles.
I did the last new moon.
Ritual? Full
Yeah,
moon?
I did the last ritual. I did that, and that's kind of all I've been doing.
Okay, so Christina, your voice that doubts is a valid voice, but you let it be the dominant voice sometimes.
Mhm.
So what you have to do is to assume responsibility, and when the voice comes up, you have to tell it what role that it can play in your life.
Okay.
Because you have a choice about what you identify. Because it sounds to me that when that voice comes up, you identify with it when it comes up. Like just because it's in your head, you have to identify with it. And that's not true.
But I think I've explained this before, that feels like the voice.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And you have a relationship with that voice. But that voice takes you on a journey that you don't really want to experience. And you have a choice. So one of the things that happens also with people who have a cancer personality, right? The sign of Cancer. It's the
You
sign
cry
of
a lot.
emotions. Well, it's the sign of emotion, right? It's the sign of emotions and tenderness and all this kind of thing. So what you have to do, part of your job is to learn how to manage your emotions and not let any particular emotion drive the bus.
I definitely struggle with that. I feel
It's a
like
process.
this is more of the day to day because I get so frustrated.
Yeah,
And then in my relationships with other people, it just amplifies all of that.
totally. I get it. I'm not even, look, my whole life was ruled by emotion and it was devastating. It completely broke everything down. So I'm saying to you from an experience, a place of experience is what I'm trying to say. But I do know that in the midst of that emotion, particularly if you put your hand on your heart, okay, when you're feeling those emotions rising, the frustration, the fear, a little tapping here and then the hand on the heart, slow your breathing. When the frustration arises, I feel you, but you don't get to, I can't make decisions from this. Not making decisions from this. I must go over here and make a decision from positivity. Okay, that's the way you start for now. And you probably need to write this down because I'm going to ask you next week and I'm going to be like, did you put your hand on your heart? And you're going to be like, no. You're going to be like, I did on Monday, but on Tuesday I forgot and I haven't put it on since. Don't do that. Put your hand on your heart. Validate the feeling and say, yeah, but you don't get to drive this bus. A bus driver is not going to take the loudest kid and give him the wheel and say, you drive, just to calm it down.
I'm actually typing it as a comment on Airtable since
Yeah,
that's
go
where we're
ahead.
keeping everything. Okay.
Yeah, good. That'll work. Actually, it would be really good. Yeah, if you all would put your stuff in comments, that would be even better. But still, that's good. That'll work. Looking here, closing this actually. working through fear, staying disciplined enough, overthinking and being unkind to myself. This is all the same thing, Christina. Just needing you to please just remember who's the boss. This is authority. This is authority training, right? Like, I'm the boss, you know? I am the boss. I'm the one who decides what I feel in this moment and what I give my attention to. Not saying it's easy, but you got to start at some point.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart, we'll start with that. Okay. Ronnie Dunn. Ronnie. There they are. I see those objectives now. All right. Let's see. Copy. Boom. Ronnie. Here we go. Participant name. That's where I have to put it. Ronnie D. And then boom. Objectives. Whoops. Why does this not work for me today? There it is. Sometimes I just don't know how to hit send. All right. Okay, so Ronnie, you've got down that you want to find healing within yourself regarding childhood trauma and relationship trauma. Learn how to read tarot and build a career on healing, bringing spiritual awareness to people. Awesome. Okay. Now, Ronnie, let's see what we're going to do here with you and these objectives. What's coming up? Unmute Ronnie. There we go. Okay, very good. Ronnie, can you say something so I know I can hear you?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, perfect. How's that little girl?
She's good. She's sleeping.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Ronnie, close your eyes.
Okay.
Put one finger on your third eye.
I think it's right here, right?
About right there is good enough. That'll work.
Okay.
That'll work. Put your other hand on your heart. Breathe. I'm going to ask you a question and you must say the very first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay, just keep breathing. Try to clear your mind. Bring your focus into your heart space. Something happened when you were age 4. What was that thing?
I don't know.
Okay. What comes to your mind? What do you see?
I don't see anything.
What do you feel?
Nothing at the moment.
But you do feel something because you're alive. Do you feel numbness?
Yes.
So feel the numbness.
Okay.
And just breathe into it. Picture yourself as a 4-year-old. What do you see?
I don't know. I don't see anything.
Do you know what you looked like when you were 4?
No.
Got any pictures of yourself from when you were 4?
I don't think I do.
Can you see your little girl?
Yes.
When you look at this image of your little girl in your mind, what is she doing?
Um, Playing and playing.
What is she playing?
I'm not sure. I don't see it.
You saw it before, but now you don't see it?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's. I think I'm just not able to like clear my mind at the moment.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We're clearing your mind for you right now.
Okay.
Believe it or not, we're clearing your mind. This is a process.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Can you?
do know.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I do know that. I used to like block a lot of my emotions out
Mm-hmm.
and,
Sure.
just suppress a lot of things, and it kind of made me forget a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
but
It's okay. One of the things you don't have to really worry about doing
hmm
is remembering, like on a conscious level, because your subconscious mind is already processing.
okay.
So what are you blocking right now?
Just all of my emotions.
In this particular moment, you feel emotions and you're blocking?
Yes.
hmm Very good. That awareness is the first step. That's fine.
hmm I think it's like a defense mechanism.
Of course. Sure.
hmm And I'll just learn how to master it. So
hmm
I wouldn't be hurt.
hmm So I want you to pause. I want you to not move. And I want you to take your hands, your arms, and open them and just put them at your sides. And just kind of relax.
Okay. Let me sit up straight.
How do you feel?
I feel like a sense of relief.
hmm
I don't feel as tight.
Not quite as blocked, maybe, not as stuck, a little more movement in
Right.
the energy. Okay. hmm So just closing your eyes, just being in your body. Just bring your awareness to your feet. Wherever they are, just feel them. Feel your ankles, your calves, and your thighs. Feel your hips. Feel your bum on the bed. Feel your lower abdomen and your chest all the way up, your torso. Feel your back, your shoulders and your arms. Feel your hands. Come back and feel your torso. Feel your neck and your head. Now try to breathe through your whole body, all as one unit. What body part is trying to get your attention most right now?
My eyes.
Mm-hmm. What do you feel?
I don't feel anything.
How do you know they're trying to get your attention?
I feel them moving.
So you feel them moving.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Just be with their movement. No judgment. Just experience whatever's happening behind your eyes. It's okay. What else do you notice about your body?
I just it's still tight and just restricted.
You feel that restriction?
Yes.
You feel that in your whole body?
Yes.
What's the earliest memory you have of feeling that restriction? Just let it come to you. Don't try to search for it. Just allow it to arise into your imagination.
My teenage years.
Sure. Is there one particular age that you see?
No.
You just know that you had this same kind of feeling in your teenage years.
Yes.
Let's see if you can let an event that happened in your teenage years come forward. Just let's see if it comes. Don't try to make anything. Just see what comes. Be curious.
Nothing.
Okay, that's all right. So just be in your body, Ronnie. It's all right. Now, before you open your eyes, I want you to be aware of what's around you. So use your feeling nature to feel the wall behind you, to feel the pillow behind you, to feel the bed, to notice the feel of your clothing on your body. Just to be present. Very gentle, very gently open your eyes and bring yourself into the room. So your work this week is to just feel your body. Just be in your body every day for a few minutes every day. Like in the morning, if you do some meditation, feel yourself when you first wake up. I feel my legs, I feel my feet, I'm here. Affirm your presence.
Okay.
That's your job for this whole week, okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good. The rest is going to come.
Okay.
Very good. Do you have any questions about any of it?
No, I just think that's the hard. Like I think concentrating and meditating is going to be challenging. I think so.
Right. I'm not asking you to meditate though, am I?
No, you said feel my body.
That's it.
Right.
We got to walk before we can run.
Right.
Okay. So you off the hook with meditation. You ain't got to meditate.
Okay.
Okay. Not yet.
Okay.
But you do need to feel your body. You do need to be present because what we tend to do is like not feel because it is so much safer to not feel than it is to feel. So we don't feel. And so what I'm saying is go ahead and start feeling slowly, just a couple minutes. And then what's going to start to happen is things are going to come up, because the moment you feel is when shit starts happening. And it doesn't take a long time. You don't have to be feeling for an hour. You only need to feel genuinely for about a second. And then
Okay.
things are opening. Your whole vibration is shifting. The moment you bring awareness, the whole thing shifts.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just one step at a time, Ronnie. This way we need your subconscious mind to feel safe,
Okay.
right? Like, I'm not going to just go in there with a can opener and screw it open and reveal all of its secrets that it doesn't want to have to deal with. That's why they're hidden, because it doesn't want to have to deal with it. Okay. So this way you're kind of like just easing it in, like, hey, it's safe. You're safe.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Jessa, are you still there? Oh, wait, Jessa, you're muted. I just unmuted you, Jessa. Are you there?
Yeah.
You've been hanging in with us for a long time. Hi.
Well, you know, everybody has been all of the discussion has been so helpful, because, you know, it's just the openness is open to everything. So one thing that I've seen is I'm 29 Cancer. So I think that means like extreme emotions. You know, it's kind of like, I see the value of emotions now, whereas my whole life it's been in the way, because, you know, like the tears come as soon as you start feeling something. So it's really wonderful to let the tears flow as, you know, the feeling of love. Okay, so you care so much about this thing, whether it's hurtful or beauty. It's all the same emotion that comes up. So so that's really beautiful. And then I've noticed this last week my own thoughts that negate my actions or my feelings. So, you know, just listening, I've recalled the progress I am making, because stopping those little voices that are, you know, the but bird, right? Just interfering with where my natural flow wants to go.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds very similar to what Christina is experiencing. Like, she's trying to do something, but there are these voices that come up and stop her.
Yeah, and there's things that you just don't even think about, like, you know, so you're feeling, you know, not anger so much, but just like you back off from interfacing with someone because of something, and then you catch yourself saying that you don't have the right to feel that way. Or,
right.
or just,
that's it.
Or something your mother might have said, like, oh, don't think that, or don't, you know, just those little things that I never noticed them before. And there were two different instances. And the Mercury thing, you know, I'm sure everything is like I think this, like, Libra. Anyway.
Are you trying to recall your chart?
Well, you know, it's like one of these, either the last new moon or full moon was like right on my ascendant.
Okay.
And it was like, what? Anyway.
So,
you know, I'm really glad for everything loosening up, and so that I can see it, because it's kind of like those are all the old patterns and all the old everything that I'm letting go of. And my new me is not there yet, which is okay, because I'm not here, you know, it's evolving. So it's like I'm trying to hurry it up, I think, when I can just like let all of that go, that I don't have to do or be anything, because I don't.
Yes.
that, for somebody who wants to achieve something is is painful because you want to keep active. And so I notice when I just close my eyes, no matter what I'm doing, I instantly drop into silence. But yet I don't stay there. I move about again. So that's not quite sure why I'm not ready to step into the deep end.
Yeah, there are probably a number of things that are going on. One of the things that happens with the sign of Cancer is that it's a cardinal sign. And cardinal signs tend toward leadership, dominance, and a sense of authority. Now, depending on what happens when you're a kid, those things can either be nurtured and they can help you blossom, or they can be kind of squashed and they can be used a bit against you, So one of the things that I like for my Cancer clients to do is to follow the moon. Now, the moon waxes and wanes, right? And the moon represents feminine authority. This is why I like to use the moon as the reference, because her authority comes from her unwillingness to change her cycles. Doesn't matter what you do here on Earth, the moon cycles are going to be the moon cycles. You're going to fall where they fall. She's going to do her job. Nothing's going to stop her. Now, this is particularly great for being a Cancer because whatever you feel you have authority to do, you will do. So for both you and Christina, this idea of understanding what you need to do and not listening to the other voices, not listening to the voices outside and not listening to the voices inside. That is your primary job so that you can do what you need to do, so you can get your job done, which is to be who you are, to follow your soul's calling. So yes, the thing is, you are going to be subject to many different moods because that also is the nature of Cancer. But the moods cannot take you off of your job. You can't let your children not be fed because you're not in the mood, right? And you would not let your children go hungry if you weren't in the mood to feed them. You would be like, I got to feed these kids, right? So,
and yet when that feeling of, like you've given yourself so much, you can feel, that you don't have to take care of anybody else at this moment. You are
sure.
pushed to the point where you're so hyped up inside, like you're so wound so tightly by holding everything together that it's like if those things will survive, if I can just hold on, kind of a thing. It's interesting.
Well,
And I've never felt it this extreme, but that's quite interesting.
But Jessa, the thing is, when you are managing your moods instead of your moods managing you, or you managing your moods is not the same thing as suppressing your moods. So you shouldn't be getting yourself to the point where you're wound so tight that you have to escape. The point would be to honor your moods on a regular basis by spending time with yourself, not giving it all away to the kids, not going into extreme mother mode where, my kids can't do it without me. Mom needs self-care as well, right?
Yeah.
Christina?
Yeah, I had a question on something you just said. You said that managing the moods is not the same as suppressing the moods.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in my mind, when I feel like, okay, I have to be the boss, I have to manage this, it's like, okay, just don't feel. Just don't. If you feel an emotion, like, no, you're not allowed to be here. But how do you, I guess, how do you find the balance to where you're not suppressing, that you're actually managing? How do you know the difference?
For me, I manage my moods mostly. I start my day off managing my moods. So my day starts in the morning with me listening to what's going on. Okay? Daily practice, essential. So if I've taken care of my problems in the morning, like I know that I have an employee who is going to be back talking, right? And I know I'm going to be upset when she comes in. She's going to have that look on her face, and I'm going to be like, okay, look, right? I need to deal with that ahead of time. So I'm talking to God, I'm praying, I'm doing shadow work, I'm seeing what she's reflecting back to me. I'm doing the basic work so that when I get there, there is a presence within me that knows the truth. Now, I go to work. Let's say I go to work and I don't know that this is going to happen, and this thing blindsides me, right? Number one, a number of things. First of all, self-compassion, right? If you're really upset and you just mess it up because you fly off the handle and you start throwing stuff, making a fool of yourself in front of your other employees, then you got to have self-compassion. You got to have compassion, okay? But that doesn't mean, like, you don't manage your moods only when things are wrong. You don't have a relationship with God only when things are wrong. You got to get up every day and pray, and when things are feeling good, you're celebrating. When things go wrong, you're working on the stuff that's going wrong, right? So that doesn't leave you all of a sudden just because you're now confronted with something that's very difficult. Does that make sense? So Christina, suppressing your moods is pushing them down and then not dealing with them later. In the moment, you can push them down for a moment, but you don't even have to actually push them. For me, it's a little bit like, I can't do this right now, but we're going to do this later. Does that make sense? We're going to do this when I get home.
It does, but when you're, it's like when I consciously try not to feel something in the moment, when I come back to it later, it's not the same.
Really? Okay. So maybe instead of trying to not feel something, because I'm not really saying that you should not feel something, I'm saying that you should deal with the feelings later. So, for example, um, I'm having a little issue right now with a certain somebody, okay? And I'm not saying I'm not feeling what I feel, but I'm not saying anything about it. I feel what I feel, and the look on my face, I have to admit, I look kind of dopey. I'm like this. I'm walking around like this. And this is me feeling what I feel, not saying anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's there. What am I going to do? Deal with it when I get home, right? When I go into my room, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to pray. I'm upset right now. I'm upset. Okay, got to finish this work. All right, we're dealing with this tonight. Okay, and I'm going to sit here and work through my work as best as I can. And when nighttime comes, that's when I also process, boom, dealing with it then. Now, I don't believe that it's not the same when you get ready to deal with it at night. If it's not the same, then it's because you've suppressed it and like just made because this when you have an argument with somebody at 10 o'clock in the morning, you still thinking about that stuff the whole day. 10 o'clock at night, the next day at 10 o'clock, you still can access that emotion, and it is really, really strong. That's the nature of humans. So I'm just saying, take your stuff and deal with it. at an opportune time. The problem, I think, is that you have those issues and you don't go back and you deal with them. That's, I think, the ultimate problem with most people, you know. I think it's the issue. We stuff it down. We think it shouldn't be happening. We don't deal, but it'll come back and haunt you, and it builds up. And this is the whole problem. This is the whole problem.
Yeah.
All right, Jessa. Jess, are you
Yes.
there? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I hope this is helpful for you. And I hope that you'll come back to us next week and maybe write some objectives. You can email them to me at crystalyn@spiritcentric.com. Okay. Email me and join us next week. And let's try to, work through some of your stuff over this summer, over the next 3 months. Okay. And see how things change for you. It'll be fun.
Okay. Well, you've certainly given me some inspiration. So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. So, all right, I'm going to unmute you all so that we can say our goodbyes and look forward. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Okay. If you have any questions, put comments, okay, in the Airtable. And I will respond to you. And all right.
Crystal, I tried to go
Yes.
to that link, the Facebook link, but I don't see that group. I'm not able to find that group.
Was anybody who used that Facebook group link?
I didn't get it yet.
I did, and it's pending. It let me in, but it says pending.
Yeah, you have to fill out the application.
And I couldn't get to the application.
Well, so the application, Katrina, did it ask you 3 questions?
No, it didn't. It said, "Did you fill out the application?" And then or to something like, I can't remember, but it was like, "Would you like to continue without filling it out?" And I think I said yes, because I didn't see any application or questions.
Okay, so when you do the wait, let me show you all what I think needs to happen. No, wait. Oh, let's see. Okay, no, I can't really show you. So when you go to that link, it'll take you to the page, and Katrina was able to use that link. Katrina was able to use the link, Christina, so you should be able to use that same link. What happens is it's going to say, hey, you want to join this group? And then it asks you a question. And the question says, did you fill out the application? And if not, it says there's a link in there that says, hey, you need to go fill this out. So what you got to do is go to that link and then fill out the application. Now, what I'll do, Katrina, for you and anybody who else, I'll double check my wording and make sure I have it clear. But what I'll do is send you all, if you send the request to join, I will email you or messenger you the link to the application.
I got it.
You got it. You got it. Okay.
So I have to copy and paste that
link. That's what you got to do. Yeah, copy and paste that link. But I also need to make that tells me I don't have it in the description. So I will fix that. In the meantime, you can get access to the application. It's there in the question when you join the group. There's a little box that says, did you fill out this application? If not, copy and paste this and go do that. Okay. Otherwise, I'll send it to you anyway.
You want me to put it here in the chat?
Sure. That'd be great. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you all will need to click on that link for the application as well. Let me see if it's coming through.
It did. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you, Katrina. You're welcome. All right, everybody. So I'll see you in that group. Well, that group will start next week, but in the meantime, I will see you all next Wednesday, okay? Thanks so much for joining and sharing yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you soon, all right?
All right,
Thank you.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.